We got some work to do.
We have 7 hours of wrestling we want to get into. We are
7 hours. We're going to try and make this, like 15 minutes?
We're going to try. See how well that goes.
We'll see. We'll see.
But we are 2 guys, 1 belt.
2G, 1B.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Follow us on Twitter for live tweets during live events.
And all other updates on the show.
At 2 guys, 1 belt. Cut it out with the plug party and let's dive right into it.
Let's dive right into it. We're going to talk about Sunday night, then Monday night, then a little bit of Tuesday. So let's get to Extreme Rules. Before we get to anything, let's get your overall thoughts just on the show in general.
I'll go ahead and rate it. I'm going to go a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
Yeah, it was a very thumbs up, thumbs down kind of show.
Yeah, it had its
good
moments,
and bad.
But it had its bad moments. We're just going to get to a few things that we liked about it. And
now, a lot of people were praising the show. And a few certain matches that we do not think were as good.
The one that some people liked that we really didn't was the Roman versus Big Show. There's a lot of good spots.
Last man standing match. Yeah, a lot of good spots. A lot of people that we knew were at the show were saying a lot of good things as well about it. Was the most extreme match of the night as well. Roman winning and Big Show not winning. Hopefully this is the end of this, correct?
Yeah,
hopefully.
That's why I'm hoping this new... When they rolled into it on Monday, the Roman set.
You know, Big Show didn't even appear on Monday, so hopefully this last man standing match was the kickoff where you know we have to see these two guys get at it again.
I'm definitely over it. I think everybody watching this who watches on a constant basis is over it too. The whole Roman and Big Show feud. It was a good ending, but it's an ending we've seen before where they flip the table over.
Right. Roman's performance at Extreme Rules. By the start of the match, he was getting booed, and by the end of it, he was, getting revived and cheered. So
I will say this is the best Roman Big Show match we've had. Now we haven't. It's not a very high bar, but I think we should roll into what we thought, which was the match of the night, which was the tag team battle.
Yes, the tag team championship match between Cesaro and Tyson Kidd, and New Day, which was just Big E and Kofi, and Xavier Woods is on the outside.
Yeah, but I'm going to say this, and I know I've been shitting on the New Day, but I am going to say that I'm glad they are tag team champions, and what they are doing with these guys has been better than what I thought they would do with them.
Now, and I'll say this. I'll just go, boom, boom, boom. Kofi Kingston, he could have done this by himself. Why did you even need a tag team? He could have done it by himself. Cesaro and Tyson Kidd are weak.
Yeah.
They're weak.
But
they don't stand a chance. I
thought it was the best match of the night because you had a lot of going on, a lot of stuff. And these two teams do mesh well. And it does give some sort of hope that the tag team division will continue to be growing in power and growing in entertainment value.
Hey, New Day
sucks.
No. It's Kofi Kingston.
You had an extra clap.
No. It's Kofi Kingston because none of the other guys matter. I just want to let you know, Kofi walked out with the belt. And your boy got the L at Extreme Rules. Let's talk about that match. The Chicago Street Fight. The longest match we've seen in years, folks. 56 minutes, 10 seconds.
I'm going to say it was an okay match. It wasn't great.
The concept of them leaving the arena and finishing the match later.
I feel like they could have done better by having some stuff out actually on the streets of Chicago.
And a lot of people were upset that they didn't.
Yeah.
But in the end, you have to realize they tried. They tried something different. They did something different.
Yeah, they did something different, but they didn't capitalize to where they should have been.
But on top of that, what really was the icing on the cake was Dean finally gets his first pay-per-view singles win.
Yes.
Which surprises, I know, some of the people. Good for you,
About
Dean.
time.
Thank God. John Cena Rusev. The dumb thing happened on Monday Night Raw, and I don't want to talk about it on Raw, but we'll talk about the match they had at Extreme Rules, the Russian chain match for the belt.
Slow, lackluster,
boring, dumb concept, not stream enough.
Yeah.
It was,
but then we'll get into what happened after the match, where they automatically gave him another rematch.
Yeah, because Lana, I guess, got on her knees or something like that.
I'm over this. They should have just ended it. They should have just ended it.
And now, if they would have had the I Quit match at Extreme Rules and the Russian Chain match at Payback, then I'm thinking, all right, Rusev actually might stand a chance to win. It's an I Quit match. No one beats John Cena in I Quit matches.
Yeah,
so there's no point to have the match.
I'm sure the only reason they're doing this is because they have no direction for Rusev.
Pretty much, yes.
And he's hit a brick wall, and he's not coming back from it, in my opinion.
Especially when he loses. Real quick, we'll talk about the Divas title match at Extreme Rules. What'd you think of that? I know Nikki went over. I had Naomi winning just because of the push she'd been gotten recently. I thought she was going to win, but seems maybe a little too premature, I guess.
I think without Paige, this was the best match they could have had.
Could have.
I'm glad that the titles didn't switch hands real quick. That's just my honest opinion.
All right, let's get to it.
So we'll get to the finals, the main event of the night, which was Seth Rollins versus Randy Orton in a steel cage, where the RKO is banned.
And Kane was the
gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper. I don't know. This was practically a triple threat.
I thought it was pretty bad going into it, and then you have Seth Rollins win with the RKO, which the RKO is banned, so technically he should have lost the match.
That was I didn't mind that, but that's just a kicker to have another match with Orton in it. Which we'll get to that.
Wasn't a great main event, but that's
no, not really. It wasn't a great steel cage match. Really,
that's what happens. The pay-per-view after Mania.
Yeah, exactly. They could have done a lot more with this. The whole Kane thing, going into it, I wasn't minding it.
Yeah.
After Extreme Rules, it's a little dry. It wasn't done that well, really. I think the main event, from what it was compared to these other matches, that last man standing match, especially the tag team championship match, fell a little flat for me.
Yeah, it just wasn't as extreme as it needed to be.
No, not at all.
Now we're going to run into the Monday Night Raw from this past week, and
the King of the Ring quarterfinals was on Raw as well,
which super cool.
Let's go run down some of those matches. We had Sheamus and Ambrose, and then Dolph screws Ambrose
because Dolph got screwed earlier in the night, but
he screwed the wrong guy, is what it was.
Yeah.
I'm confused by this. They have to do some storyline with Ambrose and Ziggler now, or that was a complete waste, and that was completely stupid, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
They have to do something. I'm not saying turn Ambrose heel. What I'm saying is make Ambrose just that ass kicker.
I think that was the way of getting Neville versus Sheamus, or Neville versus Sheamus without having to bury Dean.
I think they're going to end up shooting themselves in the foot for that. It should have just been Ambrose Neville.
Can we talk about the R-Truth Stardust match?
Oh my goodness! Just R-Truth in general. Did he really deserve this? Some people were saying that he deserved this. Did he really? Over a guy like Stardust?
Stardust was definitely more deserving, but there's that. And Bad News beat Dolph off the Sheamus distraction, which the distraction's definitely overused. The distraction on the ramp,
But overall, the quarterfinal matches were all right. Obviously, Neville being a highlight.
Yeah,
of course.
He's always
like always. First one to get to now, the new Got Him Award of the Week, folks.
Got him!
Calling Seth Rollins Justin Bieber. Woo!
I haven't heard so many Justin Bieber chants in my entire life.
I don't think Justin Bieber got that many chants, even at his own concert.
Exactly.
There was Justin Bieber chants all night long. But then Kane went on to make an app vote. It was really confusing after that first segment. What it sounded like is we're going to have a tag team championship main event on Raw, and if Roman and Randy win, then we get this app vote. No. He just went ahead and just had it. He just was like, no, I don't care. We're going to have the app vote. And the app vote was
triple threat match at Payback with Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and Roman Reigns.
But we didn't get it till after the main event. So that was like another catalyst to say, hey, watch the main event, and then you get to see the results. Yeah. But it didn't make any sense to have the results after the match, other than the fact that you wanted to cheat us out of 20 minutes.
I would say the main event of the night, where you had the tag team, was a pretty good main event for a Monday Night Raw,
but
in my opinion.
At the same time, what did it accomplish other than just passing the 20 minutes?
Passing time. That's what it was. Passing time.
Filler. It was all filler just to get to what we already knew was going to be the triple threat match. I mean, we all wanted it. Roman in the title picture. Already. I thought this was a little soon into the summer. It's not even the end of April yet, and they already gave him a championship match again.
Another one, yeah.
What do you think?
If he doesn't win it, it's another wasted championship, I think. But that's just my opinion. I think, maybe they wanted him to win, but at WrestleMania, but the only way Brock would drop it was in something so special like that.
So do you think Roman's going to win at Payback?
I think Roman will either win at Payback or the next pay-per-view and have to defend it at SummerSlam versus Brock Lesnar.
See, this was my thing. I felt like this was a little too premature. You had all summer long, I think, to build Roman
but at least
winning that belt.
At least it's not a one-on-one. At least it's a triple threat.
It's a triple threat. At the same time, though, are you really only going to give Seth Rollins a month-long reign? Well, 2 months, technically. 2 months. 2-month-long reign. I think that's a slap in the face a little bit in my personal opinion.
Well, I mean,
I think
it's not like he won it. He had a long storyline to win it. He cashed in, and that was it. So, I mean, how long do you deserve off of a last-second cash in at WrestleMania?
Because he's talented. Because he's actually talented, and he actually deserves that belt. I think they need to build to Roman winning the belt at SummerSlam. That's just me personally.
What if they had a triple threat at SummerSlam with Roman, Brock, and Seth?
I wouldn't want that. I would just want Seth and Roman. I think Brock needs to do something to get back to the belt.
Start our couple minutes here on the... technically, it's main event, but they just called it King of the Ring all night. Which was an hour long, which was good because you had 3 matches in an hour. I did like that.
And they did even a little bit.
They did a little bit of mic time before each one. You had Bad News Barrett.
And R-Truth.
Which you knew Bad News Barrett was going to win.
See, at least if you have Bad News Barrett and Stardust, you could go into Tuesday night thinking that Stardust
has a chance. Yeah, which would have been pretty cool.
But
then you had Sheamus versus Neville.
We all knew R-Truth didn't stand a chance.
Sheamus versus Neville, which Neville put on another hell of a show.
Again.
And I even talked about this last night, is Sheamus versus Neville. You think with Sheamus being a big guy, he kept up with Neville, and it made it an extremely good match.
They were both in great shape. Yeah. You know what that was? He made Sheamus look like $1 million.
Yeah, and it was
even
just
in a loss because Dolph got the distraction.
I'd still say that match was more entertaining than the Neville versus Bad News Barrett match.
And I think that's because of time. They didn't give Neville.
It was the first match of the night.
That's why I maybe think this hour thing, they could have gone a little bit over or started it a little bit earlier.
Well, it actually ended at 2 minutes early. So.
Exactly. So it was a little Now, obviously, we get to the Neville Bad News Barrett.
Which was pretty good.
Which was good, but like I said, they only last about 6 minutes long, which isn't exactly what you want in any kind of big-time match like that.
Now, what do you think? Do you think it was a good time for Neville to win it, or do you think it's good that he maybe has a little bit more time to build up with this feud with Bad News Barrett?
Let's save that for 2G, 1B debate.
All right. Well, I still think, even with Bad News Barrett, that wasn't one of Neville's better matches, I don't think. Personally, in my opinion, it was a little slow, which I know those guys... They had a better
match on the pre-show at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, those guys had a great match there. But they were both a little tired, too.
But what
it was their second match.
And, you were talking about it. You wanted to see it happen. I think we got it. I think we got his first feud now.
Yeah, which I hope.
We found it. I think even after a loss, I think we found it. So
maybe they can have a match where it's the king versus the peasant, and whoever wins gets to become the king.
Now, I don't know about you, but me personally, I felt like compared to other King of the Rings, maybe because it was his own pay-per-view, this wasn't as special as I thought it was going to be. Sunday night when they announced it, I was freaking out. Like, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And it ended up not being as great as I wanted it to be. Was that because of the lackluster amount of time and build-up and everything like that? I feel like
I think maybe that was a little bit...
They kind of missed the boot there.
The crowd really wasn't into it, which was another factor.
But that's a SmackDown crowd.
That's a SmackDown crowd. I think they should have had the semifinals on...
next Monday.
Or the finals on Monday. But just the semifinals, give them 2 half-hour matches on Tuesday.
And then you could build it up on SmackDown.
Yeah, you could have it right before the main event, or have it the 10 o'clock main event. We just reviewed 7 hours and what we think is about 15 minutes.
If we didn't touch on what you wanted to hear, we are doing 2 Guys, 1 Debate. That's coming up a little bit later in the week.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Follow us on the tweeters at 2 Guys, 1 Belt. Until next time.
This is water. Don't freak out.
It's actually beer.
It's actually straight vodka.
It's actually AMP, because we're sponsored by Mountain Dew Kickstart. And we can't break kayfabe.